Hello, everyone. Everyone, welcome to another day of a woo-woo Christmas. Where I am having some of my beautiful friends and talented colleagues come and bring some, nourishing wisdom for our souls this season. And I'm so excited today to welcome Siobhan O'Sullivan from Hara Holistic Education. She is a breath expert. She is a sound healer. She's Ayurvedic medicine. She is so many things and more. A beautiful space holder and has been to many of my woo-woo retreats. I think as long as I've had them, she's been there, thankfully. And Siobhan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to work with you as always. I just
Oh,
love any opportunity to connect, and I'm super excited about connecting for this.
oh, great. So Siobhan, I mean, like it can be a complicated time this season, holidays, Christmas, gatherings, all the to-do lists, the, emotional energy that's there. What are some things you feel in your heart that people can then use to, not only survive the season, but to really nourish it and enjoy it?
Yeah, you and I were talking briefly before this, and I was sharing how I wanted to what we talked about today to be organic and natural, authentic. And I was really thinking about from my own experience, and I'm sure so many of your audience can connect with this, is just the feeling of everything is so busy at this time of year. The light is less, which I think absolutely affects us, all that darkness and lack of sunshine. I think there's a lot of expectations put on us at this time of year with family and commitments and schedules and finances and expenses. All of these things really start to weigh us down. They can make everything feel heavier, including the darkness of the day. And I think it just puts all of us, myself included, and I'm sure you can connect to 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 times where we just feel like there is so much external going on around us that it's hard to connect with our authenticity and our truth of what really matters and the lightness within ourself, even if the outside world isn't displaying that same feeling or frequency.
hmm
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do we feel the lightness? How do we lighten it? How do we
Yeah.
breathe? How do we breathe through the holidays here? My breath expert.
Well, that's exactly it. And lightness means a lot of things. Lightness means obviously, our nourishment from the sun and nature around us, making the most of every second of daylight that we can. It's connecting to the daylight that means so much, but it's the lightness of spirit and the lightness of being within our hearts, within our minds, how we feel our perspective of ourselves, others, and the life around us. And finally, the lightness of our breath. The lightness of our breath is prana. It's our life force energy. And when we talk about or when we think about connecting with lightness, we can't always control what's happening around, but we can always control our breath, our lightness of being, our lightness of being. And that's our breath, that's our prana. So I was thinking about um, just everything we've been talking about, the darkness, at the time of the season, and about the expectations and the busyness and all of the stress and the pressure that comes on us especially at this time of the year. And what I want to share with you, the message that came to me inspired, is not so profound, but it's so simple that I think we can connect to all of it, or all of us can connect to it, is that this too shall pass, right? So the idea that if things are heavy, if you're feeling the crunch of finances or your busy schedule or the pressure of family commitments or expectations, if you're feeling the darkness of the day or whatever else is happening in your world, this too shall pass. Everything will become lighter again. Everything is temporary, whether it's heavy or even if it's not heavy. Even if you're having the best experience of your life, if things are in flow, if things feel light for you, if you're enjoying the darkness of the day, that too will pass, right? So the idea that we can't control anything except we can control, or we can connect. I don't even like the word control in a purposeful way. We can connect with this feeling of lightness to connect with lightening ourselves, the best way to do that is to connect with our breath when the times are good and in flow, and when the times are maybe heavy and full of pressure. We can connect with our breath. Simply closing our eyes, connecting to the present moment of awareness, present moment of being, and connecting with our breath, bringing the chaos from our mind or the external world or restlessness in the heart or nervousness in the body, and saying, I see all of this. I recognize it. I'm not tricking myself or playing a game with the universe that, oh, it's not happening. I'm going to be blissfully ignorant and pretend that everything's okay. It's never about that. It's about saying, I recognize and witness everything that's going on around me, and I choose to sit here in the stillness and softness and awareness of my breath and connect with myself. And we can do that in a second, right? Connecting to the softness and stillness, the awareness of the present moment within ourselves, then it doesn't matter what's happening around the world. It doesn't, or what's happening outside of us. It matters what's happening inside of us in that present moment. And knowing that in that present moment, you're safe, you're grounded, you're connected, you're peaceful, you're authentic, you're true in your being. And then whatever else happens from there, we know it's going to change anyways.
So
Does that make sense?
how do we connect to our breath? Like I
Yeah.
think of everybody like holding their breath during the season, or those awkward, exchanges socially, or the energy of like being in an environment that's overstimulating. Like how do we find that space?
All of it, you're exactly right? It's all that external stuff. So all we have to do, and we can do it anywhere. We can do it if we're driving in the car, we can pull over and park for a second. We can do it when we wake up in the morning, when we lay in bed at night. We can sit down at the busy store and take a minute and do it right there in the store, or right there in the living room of your in-laws, or whatever it is, right? And let's just do it together. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
love to,
so go
love to.
ahead and just get comfy in your seat. Let's close your eyes for a second and just hold the awareness of this too shall pass. Whatever it is, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether we're, moving towards peace and acceptance, or whether we're moving to connecting to that innate joy of perfection, whatever it is, as your eyes are closed, I invite you, either through your nose or through your mouth, whatever's most comfortable for you, to just start and connect with the rhythm of your breath. And as you breathe, just gently witness. Does this breath feel smooth, soft, full, flowing? Or maybe does this breath feel shaky, shallow, restless? Whatever it is, you're just paying attention. You're just getting information in this moment. Pay attention now. Is your breath settling deep down into your belly, around your pelvis and your hips? Or is your breath gathering in the midsection, around the base of your ribs? Is your breath coming into your chest, creeping up around your collarbones and your shoulders? Just pay attention. Where is it? And when you become aware it is in your body, that tells me as a breath worker, what your emotional state is currently. Nothing is right or wrong, it just is. So I invite you with awareness now to anchor yourself down into your breath, ground yourself, and begin to breathe so fully into your lungs that your lungs expand, your diaphragm engages, and your low belly begins to expand. That you can feel that breath gathering around your belly button and even lower. Be really intentional about grounding yourself into your breath, getting it nice and deep into your belly. Soften your tailbone, soften your hips, soften your shoulders and your jaw. Take a moment just to witness that breath. And even if it's not all the way down there, that's just how we begin, and that's how we practice. That's how we form a breath practice of being grounded rather than in a pattern of control or fear or a pattern of overwhelm or anxiety. And then when you're ready, you just let your eyes float open. And I guarantee you, what did that take? Less than 2 minutes, right? Probably
Absolutely. Yeah.
less than 2 minutes. And that's it. You're out of your head. You're out of fear. You're out of control and you are
Mm,
into your body. That's in your being. You're in your being. You're grounded in being, not doing, not thinking, not pushing, not over feeling or overreacting, just being, right?
mm.
We can do that anytime. We can do that. You can do that anywhere. Nobody's even going
Yeah,
to
it's
know
just
you're
hard to make
doing it.
that time for it, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it also, like, emotions come up for me, even just
Mhm.
like, maybe it's your voice because I just love your energy so much. It's so loving. But I just feel like, it's hard for us to be present like that, or to find the
Mhm.
time to be present. But I love that it only takes like a minute or two,
Yeah, it only takes a minute. I mean, if you have 20 minutes, great. If you've got 1 minute, excellent. Doesn't matter. Being present is not about, an extended period of time. It's about moment to moment. And we can all find a moment. We can all find a moment.
A
Hmm.
moment. Wow, so beautiful. Thank you, Siobhan.
Hmm.
I know there's so many layers to this question, but what are the benefits of breath? We all hear, we all see the ads, like you should do breathing exercises. Breathing helps your anxiety. Breath, 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 breath. But like, what are the benefits of breath to you? Why is it
I mean, the
important to do
benefits
this?
of breath are, immeasurable, but I've done a lot of breath work over the last, decade, and there's so many different types, and they're all rooted in traditional pranayama. Anything that we do now is based from 5,000 years ago
Huh.
technique out based in Ayurveda. It was called pranayama, right? The benefits are immeasurable. It's about physical health. It's about proper oxygenation in our body, in our blood, in our organ function, in our digestion. It's about proper hormone balance. It's about stress relief and stress management and manage of our stress hormones. It's about emotional regulation, coming from a point of responding rather than reacting, right? It's about integrating past emotions, past fears, past trauma, anxiety that we hold in our body because it's been held there and we haven't had the opportunity to fully integrate and give ourselves resolution. Our nervous system is begging to
Mm.
soften, to be safe, and to relax. The breath is the quickest way to balance our nervous system. And a big buzzword we hear about all the time is trauma informed therapy, trauma informed therapy. It's true. Who doesn't have trauma? Right? Every human being has some form of trauma. Breath therapy, and specifically Hara breath, which is what I teach, is geared toward balancing nervous system regulation to help integrate trauma, which all of us have had,
Oh,
right?
mm,
And then, of course, there's the spiritual level. It's about being present, connecting to the moment. In that, you connect to your authenticity, to your higher self. We all have some kind of vision of higher power, no matter what we call it, right? God, source, universe, creator, spirit, mother nature, right? And so when we connect to our breath, we connect to all of that healing potential, physically, emotionally, mentally, and especially for our nervous system. And then finally, spiritually, right? It's all
mm.
right there in the
It's
breath.
all of
I've
it.
done everything. And if any, well, a little bit of my resume, I've done everything holistic. This is the ticket. It's the breath. I've never seen anything more effective than the breath.
Thank you for that teaching and that beautiful reminder. And I really what I really appreciate about this is that we think like, oh, if I do a breathing exercise or breath work, it's another to-do list. I got to add
Mhm,
another thing to my to-do list. But
mhm,
this just breaks it down so simply and something that's so a part of us, and that
mhm.
can be tapped into anytime, just even for that moment. So,
Mhm.
so beautiful, Siobhan. So thank you so
Yeah,
much for your beautiful words and your teaching. How can
yeah.
people find you? How can, even in the new year, if they feel called to do more of this, or what kind of offerings
Yeah,
do you
if
have?
if you want to find me, reach out to Michelle. She knows my info, but also I work with clients one-on-one in private sessions, and then I also teach. If you're inspired by this, and if you want to not only come for self-healing, but if you want to come to learn how to help others, I teach, and I'm just finishing my program for 2025, moving into spring training in 2026, starting in April. And you can reach me at info at haraholisticeducation.com, HARA, holisticeducation.com. Michelle knows my phone
Yeah, I'll
number,
put all
all
the
those
links
kind of
in.
things.
Yeah,
Put it there
absolutely.
somewhere. Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
beautiful to be in your energy, and just to even have that moment of breathing with you is just so special. It's
Yeah.
something I think
Thank
we
you.
all need this season. So many blessings
Yeah.
to you, and Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Hope you have a
thank you so
beautiful
much. Thank you
holiday,
for
and
including me. I love you. I'm
I love
grateful for
you.
this experience. Yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you, Siobhan.
grateful. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.